never fall in love, okay?
Love Lies Bleeding is a 2024 romantic thriller. Co-written and directed by Rose Glass and distributed by A24. It stars Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, and Ed Harris. The plot's about a gym manager named Lou, who falls for Jackie, a bodybuilder who's passing through town, on her way to a competition in Las Vegas.
So where did you appear from? Oklahoma?
Guys, this movie is so good. But it's not going to be for everyone. It is what you expect from an A24 movie. It's unique, it's weird, it's creative, but it also is uncomfortable. And depending on who you are and what you enjoy to watch, it just may not be your cup of tea. There's a lot of sexual passion and intensity in this film. And talk about a nail-biter, this movie is so intense. It had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I also gotta let you guys know, this is much more of a drama thriller than it is a horror movie, but it does have moments for sure that feel very horror. It gets pretty violent and definitely doesn't avoid gore. There is plenty of gore in it. Now, I'm not saying it's a Terrifier level of gore, but what they do show, they show you. And the cast, man, they all just give such good performances in this. Kristen Stewart is phenomenal in this. I've become a big fan of hers, especially the last few years when she's done more and more indie work, and you can just really see what a talented actor she is. But I also got to mention Katie O'Brien. I'd never seen her before this, and her performance just pulls at your heartstrings. It has you scared at times, on the edge of your seat. Like, just this entire range of emotions that she pulls off is really astounding. But for me, the real standout in this was Ed Harris. He plays this really unique figure, something different than I had ever seen him play before. And he's a real true blue villain in this. And absolutely intimidating, just terrifying at times. Even just simply staring at the camera, the intensity in his eyes, he just feels so horrifying.
It's not what I'm paying you for.
He plays this unhinged character that doesn't really show much emotion, but yet the way he says things, the looks that he gives, shows you his true intensity inside. He's just one of those silent assassin kind of people. I also really appreciated the writing here. The dialogue is fantastic, feels very real, but something that really stood out to me is our main characters in this are lesbians, and it's a thing in the movie. It doesn't like avoid that topic. It touches on it a little bit, but for the most part, they're just these two characters in it. Because with movies like this, a lot of times they really wear their politics on their sleeve, you know, their agendas, their talking points, things like that. And that's more important than giving you an interesting story, a captivating story. But I didn't find that to be the case with this at all. This is just simply two characters that happen to be lesbians, and it doesn't really matter in the movie. It isn't really what the motive behind anybody is, and it just happens to be a thing. And there's even one point in the movie where Jackie's character asks Lou, you know, is your dad, you know, is the reason you have issues with him and you know, you guys don't get along and everything, is it to do with the fact that you're a lesbian? And she's like, nah, he doesn't even care about that. And that was really the only part that really addressed the fact that she's a lesbian. And that just is impressive to me. And I'm not trying to say I'm someone that can really talk about this issue. You know, I don't know a lot about it. I'm not trying to say what way you should feel one way or the other about issues like that. I'm just saying that it affected me on a much higher level. The fact that these are just simply two women that are in love in this, rather than making it this big talking point in it and taking me out of the movie. And something else that really surprised me about this, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say anything too into this, but something that really surprised me was there is a point in this when it kind of goes off the rails a little bit towards the end, and it does some things that I just did not expect it to do at all, that are kind of out of left field, but refreshing and creative and artistic and really thought-provoking, and left me to this point still questioning exactly what it meant and what it was trying to say. And I love stuff like that. That to me is what I love so much about A24, is that it finds these filmmakers that do things in a creative, unique way and are bold and brave and not afraid to kind of maybe do some things that are a little unhinged, a little weird, that maybe don't feel exactly like what you would expect a movie to do. And so it constantly keeps you kind of off kilter and never knowing what to expect next. And like Rose Glass's last film, Saint Maud, I found this to be creative, refreshing, intense, exciting. Just seeing this young filmmaker doing things in a different way. I love stuff like that. That is just so exciting to me. So I can't wait to see what Rose Glass does next, because I think she is one of the more talented filmmakers we have going right now in the horror and just in the film industry in general. But if you're someone that doesn't enjoy most of A24 movies, especially the ones that are more artistic, more art house, a little bit of a slow burn, you know, and kind of weird and uncomfortable, then this is probably one you want to avoid. But if you're someone like me that just can't get enough of movies like this, then you should definitely get out to theaters and help support this, and just show A24 with your money that you want more films like this, that you definitely don't want the artistic kind of films to ever die. Don't just wait and get it streaming somewhere, and definitely don't pirate it, because that's how movies like this just cease to exist. And all we'll be left with is these hollow, plastic, empty husk of these big pop culture movies that we see pumped out every summer that have no real heart and no real soul, no real creativity. So with that being said, this is a movie that I highly, highly recommend. And that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this every single week, I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to the Ghost Pirate crew, to you guys over on Patreon, and to the channel members over here. You guys mean so much to me. And if you would like to help support the channel over on Patreon, there's a link down in the description. Or if you want to become a channel member and help support the channel that way, there's a button right down there that says join. But like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button, and remember guys, horror can be fun! And if you enjoyed this, click right here to watch me review Imaginary. And I'll see you guys next time!